Okay, so you've got a lot of things to do, but not enough time to do it all. Sure, you can jot these things down on a to-do list, but the problem with that approach is you end up with a very poor grasp of what can realistically get done in a day. You need some way of visualizing the hours of your life to figure out when you're actually going to do all these things. And I have found the best app to help you do just that. It's called Morgen, and I've declared it to be the sexiest calendar app in the world. It's highly functional, easy to use, and frankly, it makes it kind of fun to plan your days, even if your days are boring. All right, let me walk you through the Morgen experience. So as I mentioned, Morgen is the sexiest calendar app in the world, and of course I have it in dark mode. You can do light mode if you want, but come on, dark mode's the way to go. I typically work in week view. If you just tap M, you'll jump to the month view. Press D, you'll jump to the day view. Press W, you'll jump to the week view. And what's really cool too is, let's say you only want to look at today and tomorrow, so you want a 2-day view, you just hit Command 2, and you have a view of the next 2 days. Or Command 3, 3 days. Command 4, 4 days. And you can go all the way up to Command 9 to view 9 days. So you can view just beyond a week if you want. To go, let's say we're in a week view, right? I press W, we're in a week view. If I want to go to the following week, I just hit the right arrow and it goes to next week. So all of a sudden now we're in August, and if I just press T, it'll jump back to T for today. So we're already back to today in our week view. And it's really cool because every time you open up the app, there's a setting where you can choose which view you want to have it open in by default. What I really love is the elegance of this, how it looks, the aesthetic, and how you can really customize it and take control of it. Like for example, like I have my morning routine here, right? And this is obviously a recurring task that I have every morning from 7:30 to 8:15 a.m. What's cool is if you notice, I don't really scroll up beyond this point because I've set my day to technically start at 6 a.m. and it ends at midnight. That is a setting. If you hit Command comma, go to settings, go to general, and you see right here, time grid start 6 a.m., time grid end 12 a.m. Cool, right? So, but we'll get into more of the settings here a little bit later. But for now, I just wanted to show you that you can choose your start time and end time of your day. So depending on your schedule. If you notice, I have my recurring task here for the morning routine. And one thing that's cool is, like, for example, this morning, I woke up earlier and I'm gonna check this off. And you get the cool little confetti animations. And to be honest, I usually don't like confetti animations. I think they're tacky, but I like Morgen's. They do it really well. It's really slick. It's not obnoxious, doesn't do like a full screen thing. Like, it's just slick. I like it. It's very satisfying. But just to show you what I mean about when you have a recurring task, let's say tomorrow morning I woke up later, right? So let's say tomorrow I happen to wake up at 8 a.m., right? So I'm gonna want my morning routine to be 8 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. So I drag it into that slot and it always brings up this little pop-up. Do I want to change the timing for my recurring event to just be for this one instance of it, which is usually what I do? Or if I started to say, hey, from now on, I'm going to start waking up at 8 or 6 or whatever, it would change this one and all future occurrences. Let's get into the real key of why I love Morgen and why I use it and why I've tried out other calendar apps, and even Todoist, which I do use. They introduced a calendar feature and it just wasn't what I needed it to be. And part of the reason for that, I'm not gonna get all into Todoist. I'm actually gonna do a separate video about Todoist. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe and that video will be coming up soon as well. But I'm only gonna touch on Todoist lightly here because if you notice up here, this is the key to my Morgen experience, which is these tasks, okay? Now there are other features like invites and scheduling and booking, and there's like an AI planner and all this other more advanced stuff that I don't even use, to be honest. So I'm not gonna walk you through all the more advanced features because that's just not how I use Morgen. This is the key for me. The way I've organized this is, what's cool in Morgen is you can create these different task lists. And if you ever wanna hide some of these or show other ones, like I have more, but you can just go up to view and you can literally just toggle on like which of the task lists you want to have displayed over here. It's just very flexible. And if you want to create a new task list, it's as easy as pressing this button right here. Okay, so I've expanded my task list over here. Let's go ahead and plan out my day. So right now we are screen recording for this video. So let's go like right here. So we just started, let's say about here. The cool thing is, if you click once on one of your tasks, there's an estimate here. So depending on what estimate you put in here, like I put 2 hours, but actually I don't want to do that anymore. I'm trying to get better about reducing my screen recording time. So I'm going to reduce this to 30 minutes. So notice now when I drag screen recordings in, it's no longer this bigger block. It is a half an hour block. So that's cool, right? It's a rough estimate, but it doesn't really matter because all you have to do is click the bottom or top of an event and quickly, easily drag to be however long it is. Very nice, right? And you can hit Command Z to undo it. And then I'll pretty much just plan out my day. So I need to go get some groceries. So right after this, I'm gonna go get some groceries and then I'm gonna eat. And you notice how I broke up life time slots and life anytime? The reason why I broke these things up is, let's say I need to refill my Berkey. It doesn't take that long, so I don't really want to slot it into my day. I just know I need to do it at some point today. Laundry is another example where it's like, okay, I don't know when I'm going to do it. And it's kind of a background activity. This is why I separated these out. So something like laundry, I wouldn't put it down here. I'd put it up here. If you notice, there's this separate area up here of all day activities versus your time slots of your day here, right? That's really cool that you can separate your tasks into sort of an all day thing versus a specific time thing, right? So let's say after I eat, let's go down to my Caslo tasks here and say video edit till 12:30. And then I'm gonna go after I've digested breakfast. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm going to do a leg day workout today. All right. So as soon as I come back, I'm gonna eat, and I could either drag eating in here, or this is cool. I can select this activity, hit Command C to copy it, and then what I can do is right click here and paste here. You see, so pretty cool. So very easy to copy and paste events and whatnot. So let's say I'm running behind schedule, right? And let's say I'm not going to be ready to do groceries in the next 15 minutes, which is actually pretty accurate. So what you can do is you can select multiple events and you can do it a couple different ways, and both are convenient. So you can click on one, then hold the Command key and keep clicking on more events, right? So now they're highlighted, they're selected. So now I could just drag this down to 9 a.m. Then it'll ask you to confirm, do you want to update the 5 events? And you say, yeah, sure. So that's one way of doing it. And if you hit Command Z, it'll undo it. Okay, so let me show you the other way to select. If you hold the Shift key, you just have to be sure to drag all the way around each event. Notice how I'm overlapping with the 8:15 event, but it doesn't move it, which is convenient. It's a very smooth way of grabbing exactly what you want to grab without over selecting something else. So hold the Shift key, drag over multiple events. Now those are selected. We'll move it to 9 a.m. Again, confirm. Very flexible, very easy to drag around events, retime them, change the descriptions. You can get as specific with these as you want or as broad as you want. To me, this is really important. You have a recurring task at a very specific time of day, right? My morning routine, always gonna be there. Now, I could make eating breakfast or eating lunch a recurring task as well, but I don't wanna do that because some days I do intermittent fasting. So if I'm not lifting, I might not even eat for pretty much that whole day. I might only eat one meal that day. Depending on my schedule, it's going to vary. I guess this is why I say there's recurring tasks, but there's frequent tasks, right? So these are always at my disposal to sort of drag in and plan out my day. To the gym, I would shower, right? The thing is, if you're not sort of blocking out all the little things as well, because remember what I was saying earlier in the intro, when you're planning out your day, you can't just be like, oh, video editing and writing my script and working on this project as a to-do list, because you have to be realistic about you're not actually going to be able to do that for 8-9 hours a day straight. You need to be very specific about what are these time blocks where you're going to get something done. Deep work, right? Like highly focused work. And let me show you, like you can integrate this with Todoist. And if you click this tab here, I've already integrated it with Todoist. So here's all my Todoist tasks. If you want to, you can drag that in here. But my Todoist stuff gets really specific, and I don't need to get that specific with Morgen. as far as I'm concerned. It's really just about blocking out my day so I can get a realistic sense of what I can actually get done. So I know in the evening time, sometime probably around 7, I'll eat dinner. So it looks like I got a block of time here. Probably I'll continue working on this video edit because I'm going to try to post this on Tuesday, right? So again, I can take this, hit Command C. I can right click here, paste here. So, realistically, I'll probably start about 4, video edit till 6:30. Then I'll eat. And then I'll have a time block underneath. And again, you can copy paste, but I can also drag in another video edit block. So I'll keep going till 10 and hopefully I finish the video up by then. But actually, I'm gonna need to design the thumbnail. So what I'll do is before I do the video edit, let me just go ahead and drag in the thumbnail design. And I've slotted it by default to be an hour and a half, but I'll reduce it to like 45 minutes. So, but you just quickly see how easy it is to slot your day out. That is really the core experience. Like I've told you, I've shown you how you can easily fly between month view, week view, day view. You can plan out one day at a time. So that's it. That's pretty much me planning out my day. The only thing else I'll add is that all of these tasks, they're not assigned to a calendar. And when I say a calendar, I mean a specific calendar within your Google Calendar. So let me just quickly show you. Hit Command, comma, bring up settings. Here's a list of your integrations. You can integrate your Google Calendar and Exchange, Outlook, whatever else you're using, and it shows up here, right? So after you've added your external calendar, under active calendars, you can choose which of your calendars within your Google Calendar account you want to have show up in your Morgen experience, right? Okay, one distinction I want to call out here is the difference between a task list and an actual calendar assignment within your Google Calendar account, right? Like let's say I want to pay my bills tomorrow, right? If you notice, if I tap here once, it's assigned to this life time slots task list, right? And this is completely within Morgen. At this point, it has nothing to do with my Google Calendar, just so you know. But as soon as I drag it into the calendar space, right? So let's say tomorrow morning, let's say I'm going to do that. Notice if I double click on this to bring up the settings, the task list is still here, life time slots, but notice up here, it's all the tasks. So if I tap here, what this is the specific calendar within your Google Calendar account, okay? And you might think, oh, paying bills, that's part of life, right? The life category, just general life stuff, right? But the reason why I assign this to all the tasks is, if you look in the month view, it's a bit cluttered with all of my tasks, right? Whereas if I switch over to Apple's calendar app, notice it's really more the big life stuff, like having lunch with somebody or traveling. So you can kind of see why I use the two different apps, because I use them in different ways. In theory, I could use Morgen for everything. Basically, if you wanted to turn off all of these tasks, all you'd have to do is go up here to this little calendar icon. Yeah, so if I turn off all the tasks, basically we're at the same thing as like Apple's calendar view. You know, I could literally just not use the Apple Calendar app and instead just use Morgen for everything. But the task list is one thing, but I assign all of these to all the tasks calendar within my Google account, so that when I go over to my Apple Calendar, I always have this all the tasks toggled off. So my calendar's nice and clean. I have my weekly goals, so I get a sense of like what I'm accomplishing every week. More like big picture stuff, not the nitty gritty of what I'm doing each and every day. One of the things I've gotten better at this year, and it's largely because of the Morgen experience, is I've been using this area up here not necessarily just for tasks to get done today that are just any time, like laundry or whatever, and not to just signify all day events like, oh, okay, I'll be in Maryland during this stretch or whatever. Not like that. But this right here, what do I really want to accomplish this week? It's always a reminder of like, okay, these are my big missions for the week, right? Because how do you put your mission for the week into a time slot? No, you have to sort of like the screen recording now and the video editing now. This is all contributing, and then tomorrow I'm gonna have to like publish the video. Yeah, so let's say the video is ready tomorrow. So I'm gonna delete pay bills, And tomorrow morning, I'm probably going to be working on finalizing this video. Yeah, I mean, we'll literally just plan this out.
A few moments later.
The screen recordings, the video edit, the video prep, this is all related to the big goal for the week. This Morgen video, it's an all-day event, it's an all-day task. Remember, it's a task, not an event. Something like this, the Maryland trip, this is an event, so there's no checkbox associated. But the Morgen video can live up in this all-day space, and it can span multiple days. You see this stretch here, and it's color-coded with the orange, which is what I assigned to the color I assigned to this weekly goal. And by the way, you can choose whatever specific colors you want for all of your individual task lists and your calendars. Elegant experience, well-designed. Yeah, so I genuinely love Morgen. As I've said from the beginning, not only is the design super sexy, but it really helps transform my life this past year, especially in terms of being more realistic about what I can actually get done on any given day or week. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is to set weekly goals, because if you want to make sweeping changes in your life and level up, it starts with winning each day, but also having a clear, realistic vision for how your daily accomplishments fit into the bigger picture of your weeks, which of course become your months and ultimately this whole year of your life. Morgen has emerged as the clear solution for me to take control of my life and win at both the micro and macro levels. And I'm so confident that this app can work wonders for you as well. That's why I made this video. So yeah, give it a whirl. You can try it out for free, see for yourself how you like it. The link is in the description of this video. It is an affiliate link, so if you do sign up, it helps support me and this channel so that I can keep making more app reviews and tutorials for you. Oh, and when you're signing up, be sure to use the promo code CASLO10 at checkout for 10% off. All right, hope you've enjoyed the video today, seeing this walkthrough of the Morgen app. Hopefully it sparks some ideas for how you can use it in your own way, since we all have different lifestyles and schedules. Oh, and not sure if I mentioned earlier, but this is not only a Mac app, but it's also available for Windows PCs and even Linux. And there are mobile apps for both iOS and Android as well. If you have any questions, perhaps about some of the more advanced settings and features, feel free to comment down below. And as always, if you've gotten any value from this video, be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel, especially if you're interested in seeing more app reviews and tutorials like today's video. Like I mentioned earlier, I'll be making a video specifically about Todoist, so you can get a better sense of how you can use both Morgen and Todoist together, whether it's using their full-on integration or simply using each app side by side as I do. All right, that's all for today. See you in the next video.
What to watch next?